Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Trade Ideas pre-market show for Friday, November the 24th, Black Friday. My name is Barry Anderson, moderator of your trading room. A couple of yeses to let me know you can hear me, see my screen. I think we're going to have a lot of activity this morning, guys. I cannot really find anything. I really didn't do any pre-market work. Okay, thanks, guys. Thanks, Sam. Let me just do a reset of my sound, just in case there's some sound issues. For some, this usually can help. Just give me a moment. I'm going to go mute for about 5 seconds. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so as I said, guys, I haven't done any pre-market work at all. I'm going to keep this room open. Probably won't get on the mic too often today. I don't like trading half days. So up to you. You guys can, you want to talk amongst yourselves, figure out what you want to trade. That's great. I will keep the room open, both rooms open, YouTube and the main room. Only one I've seen right now, iRobot. I think they had some kind of a go ahead for from the European Union and Amazon. Yeah, so the e-commerce and tech company's $1.4 billion deal to buy iRobot is set to win the full EU antitrust approval. Okay, so that is the news for iRobot, IRBT. After that, I know somebody talked about this BGLC. BGLC, yeah, big run. One of these sub $1 stocks on a tear, lots of volume. Don't see any news on it. Let's see. I click. So the market's in for uh, kind of well, it'll be a positive open, nothing dramatic though. So there's I click. I see okay. They're going to go private following a merger, so let's forget about that one. PXMD. I mean, there's a whole bunch of cheap one guys. There's absolutely no earnings plays that I can see either. So just real cheap ones on the move, other than the iRobot, and only cheap ones on the way down that I can see. So probably a good time, good day if you're in the rooms. Not too many people. I don't think are going to show up for this half day, but to ask questions because I doubt if I'm going to do any trading. SPRC guys, I guess SPRC is something to look at. Had a big pop up to $10. Go back down to 865. Has some news. Initiated a clinical trial, and that is I'm sorry, that is SPRC. So why would you say that, Jesse? Of course, it may say $10 also, but little promotional. It may say 220. Of course. I mean, why would you say that though? Just out of curiosity, other than you're in it and you like to pump it a bit. I get it, but what I see is the 200-day moving average. Though I don't see a price for it, but I do see this up here, 200-day moving average around 90 cents. Well, okay, let's look at it, in an unbiased way. Okay, so here we are at 82 cents. And the next high looking left, it's sort of at that high. The next high after that is around a dollar. Okay, around a dollar, and there's another high after that around a dollar 66. So as I say, it'll only be the hardcore here today. I think most people are taking this day off also. How to assess if a stock will have a trouble executing a stop order somewhat closely to a desired price. I don't know if there's any real way. I mean, there's a question there in the YouTube room. I mean, if a stock is one of these low floaters and it's incredibly volatile and you put a stop, let's just say for argument's sake, this is a BGLC. Let's just say you were in this one right now, okay? And you said, okay, I want to put a stop at 72 cents. Okay, so this is a low float situation. Now, all of a sudden, if you know if there's a massive sell off, I mean, and you put a stop in at 72 cents, I mean, you may get, let's just say you had 5,000 shares, you may not get your full 5,000 out. You know, depending how volatile it would be, dropping down through your stop price. But it's impossible to know ahead of time. Does that make sense? I mean, in most cases, I'd also. But the other thing too is that if I were in one of these, yeah, I might put a stop order in, but I wouldn't just wander away, okay? I'd wanna see, first of all, if it's getting close to the stop order, and if it got executed, how many shares, and then I'd be, manually, if I wanted, scrambling to get out if it's really dropping. I wouldn't I wouldn't say to myself, "Okay, I'll put my stop in, I'm protected, I'll be able to sell all my shares at that price." Not necessarily on a stock like this. I'm picking on this one just because it has a low float and it could get and it's very volatile. So I would say that, if you're trying to assess ahead of time a volatile stock, you may not get out of all your shares at your stock price. Now, Schott has come out with a. See, I'm not even sure now that their product is going to be available. They said in December that it would be available in on Amazon and on their website. But now what I'm reading, I mean, they're saying they're going to continue to, of course, scientific development, et cetera, et cetera. Um, and they're talking about launching business to business sales of Safety Shot in Q1 of 2024. Now, I don't know if that means that they're not going to be selling it on Amazon, like they said in December. I don't know if that means. I don't know if that's what that means. Anyway, the stock is falling. I did not see any news on BGLC on either. See what news they had last week. And there was an earnings play on the 20th, but that's not the reason. They pointed no, that's back in October. So I don't see any specific reason for this one. What? What are you doing here, real? I thought for sure you'd be one to take this half day off. But good morning. And to all my American friends, hope you had a great Thanksgiving. But you know what I'm talking about, Casa? Last week they said they're going to be they would be selling, or sorry, yeah, they'd be selling their product on Amazon in December. Now I don't know if that means they're not going to be selling. They're going to wait for more clinical trials. I really don't know what that means. And now they're selling. Okay, you said if they don't do a financing, they're crazy. Not true, Jesse. If you're suggesting that I threw a barb at you just because I was wondering why you said it could go to 250 or whatever you said, 220. I'm just wondering like why. That's all. I'm not trying to throw a barb at you, but when the stock's at 80 cents and somebody posts, the stock could go to 220. Sure, I guess it could go to 10, could go to 5. But I'm just wondering what was your analysis? That's all. I wouldn't take offense. Oh, I see, I see. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, I missed that. There's no such thing as a garbage stock. I mean, when people say that, I understand why they say that. Because will this company BJLC, will Shaw, will any one of those companies ever do anything? I don't really care. All I care about is, do they give us the opportunity to make some money on a trade? That's all I care about. I'm not talking about marrying these things. Exactly. All stocks, well, maybe Apple isn't, but yeah, I can. The stuff that we see here that is these low floaters. I mean, we specialize. I mean, trade ideas can really zero in on these, but they're trades. That's all they are. Some of them can turn out to be unbelievable for a few days. Enron was a garbage stock. Yeah, it turned out to be one. That's for sure. PJ, that doesn't make sense though. What do other people's views have anything to do with our product signing up for TI? Like seriously, we all have different trading styles. I completely agree. I mean, look at William. I mean, William is a. I don't know how to actually pigeonhole William, but he looks at fundamentals before he takes a trade, even though it's a day trade, even though it can be like a micro scalp of a trade. But he is sort of looking at fundamentals a lot of times. I don't look at fundamentals I don't look at fundamentals at all, okay? Not as a day because you're right. If I were doing that, I would never trade anything. Probably. I'd be scared to trade anything if I were looking purely at fundamentals of most of the stuff. Anyway, let's keep this a happy Thanksgiving or day after, okay? All right, guys. Well, I'm not gonna look at the upgrades and downgrades. There are probably not gonna be any. So let's just take a look at the sectors before we begin. So I'm gonna click on new from our toolbar. And I get down to Dock Channel Bar. Click on the Show More and take a look at our sectors and see what's happening. Pre-market. Again, we're in for a mildly positive open. All right. So what you're seeing here, these are the major sectors. XLE, the major ETF for energy. 80% in red. What does that mean? It means 80% of the stocks that make up XLE are down from Wednesday's close. Wednesday's close. Okay. But it's almost pointless to look at these guys right now. I mean, I really don't see that a lot is going to happen today. I might get the odd one. I'm not going to go over the not going to go over the sectors with relation to their ETFs or their sorry, their 200-day moving averages. WRK, I don't see WRK anywhere for me. Let's see. Is it maybe it's a volume? Looking at my pre-market actives up. Maybe I have to scroll down a little bit. I know why. Okay. Yeah. So my cutoff is 3%. So it's up 2.68%. Okay. That's why I'm not seeing it on any of my scanners right now. Yeah. I don't see any news either. Had news, sorry, had earnings on the 9th, but that's way past. So yeah, I don't see any news either for WRK. Let's see with this crazy IMPL, which had a big run. It's pulled way back now, but let's see if this IMPL as an example of a crazy looking stock that went from 42 cents all the way up to $1.07, pulled back. So it's down 21%. Maybe it has another little go this morning. I don't know if that had any news either. Not that I could find. Actually, I do think there was. No, did not see that. Welcome to the meme world. So maybe it was a meme stock. I don't know. Oshkosh or yeah, Oshkosh OSK. Let's take a look at OSK. So that news was on the 22nd, I guess. That was after hours on the 22nd. So the market was closed yesterday. No reaction yet. $341 million Army contract. I see Bitcoin is doing this thing again. Every day it seems to have like $600 swings minimum. So there is BITO. I mean, it's only up 0.42%. William, I'd love to use that as a testimonial, if you don't mind. Exactly what you just said. Oh, thank you very much. Sure. Okay, sorry about that. Thank you for that, William. No, I took it very personally, PJ. I'm off in a corner and sulking now. So thanks a lot. Listen, on a day like day after Thanksgiving, this whole and up into our holiday season, let's have lots of cheer and fun and make some money, okay? YPF. So this is the Argentinian stock. Okay. Let's take a look at the country ETF right now. Let's see if it's still kind of hanging in there ever since the election. Take a look at another Argentinian stock just for fun to see if PAM, not as much volume as YPF. And what was another one? One of the banks. I don't think this is a bank, but oh, it is a bank. Okay. Grupo Financiero. All right, guys, 6 minutes to the open. Yeah, it's amazing sometimes when you see these runs on some of these stocks and you cannot find any news. I mean, I'm sure somewhere there is, some group pumping the heck out of it, but there's just no specific news that I can find anyway. I guess if you went on to Twitter, not X, I'll never call it X. Anyway, if you went on to Twitter, I'm sure you'd probably find something. It's funny you say that, William. Yes, 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 the reverse, yes, yes, because I do see, X, formerly called Twitter. I'm actually starting to see that disappearing a little bit now. I think it's absurd that he did that. Absurd. But anyway, that's well, that was very funny, William, yes. Coin Chairman, okay, how many shares does he have left? I wonder. How many millions does he have left? Boy, I did not know that coin was over 100. Wow, what a run. 72 to 100? Actually, more like this, I remember when it was down to 50. It depends on this news, right? I mean, you know what the news is, PJ, for IRBT, European Union suggest or report suggesting that, okay, well, just so you know, the news is that the European Union a report suggesting that Amazon's proposed acquisition of the company is set to get unconditional approval from the EU. This has been ongoing for a long time. This is supposed to happen up here when it was up at 39, and then it didn't happen. So now it looks like it could happen again, and that's why it's back up. That's funny, JK. Well, I did see yesterday one of those funny little pet videos that you see all over Twitter or Facebook. Sorry, not Facebook. Sorry, YouTube. And of course, cat riding the Roomba on top. Hilarious. BITF in reverse gains. You mean they did a reverse split? So they raised some money, $60 million private placement. So that is the reason why this is down, I guess. I'm not sure. Yeah, what a horrible looking daily chart. Horrible. Look at this daily chart for BITF. Up, down, not just up, down. And then look at all the bottoming tails and topping tails. Almost possibility to trade this one intraday. Earnings, well, I had earnings on the 7th. So, and they've done a financing. So now, so, all right, guys, I guess the market's going to open in less than a minute. So have a great, for those of you who are going to trade, I'm probably not going to trade. Something really strange happens. I just don't like trading half days. Funny. All right, guys, we're now open, and there's the iRobot. Just a minute, please. All right, maybe keep an eye on MNY. This is one that I took last week in the simulator, and I was wanted to keep it, show you how you can use our simulator if you want to practice swing trading. So there's MNY from last week, or I think it was on actually on, yeah, it was Wednesday. I took this just to demonstrate how you can use our simulator. Triple D. Okay, this is one. It's been I think this has been in takeover talks for a long time. Triple D gains after Director Thomas Erickson reports share buy of how much? 120 $228,000. So, so an independent director bought $228,000 worth of stock at 450. Okay, 468 to be exact. Okay, biggest biggest insider purchase. I guess Thomas Erickson. I wonder if this is well, it says their holding. So I don't know if that's a fund called Thomas Erickson or it's an individual. At any rate, that's the reason for DDD. I think the shippers are moving here, guys. SBLK and Fro. SBLK and Fro. Lian, Lian. Yeah, big pop here, guys. Pretty big pop. Not a lot of volume yet. 94,000 shares. See if there's any news. Can't see any news. Oh, wow. Look at the MNY now, guys. Just as I mentioned it. Okay, well, here we go. SBRC. Now, SBRC just showed up on my 10-day daily breakout. However, I did hit 1050 in the pre-market. Massive pullback, in my opinion, down to 8. That's a huge percentage pullback, but on the move again. SPRC, no. I'll answer, William. No, but of course we don't know. That would be a big lift. Another $1.50 from here to take out the pre-market high, approximately. Well, speaking about this Grupo Financiero, there. Look at this. Look at this money go, man. Oh man, MNY. Okay, that's wrong. I have to have another column here. There we go. That's the total P&L. I don't know why it disappears all the time. All right. Well, there's YPF, guys. Argentinian stock, YPF. Now, if I look left, 1622 is the next high, I believe. Yeah, 1622. on the weekly chart is the next high for YPF. Well, if you did want a quick trade, that was one. YPF showing up at 15:59, 9:33 Eastern time, 15:59. It's up to 16 now. And there it is. Why? I don't know if there's any specific news on it other than okay, let's see. Faces 16.1 oil fine. Not exactly, Reiko, not exactly. I mean, I do believe though there's a dollar for commission, so it's not so that actually could account. Look at MNY. Huh. So it doesn't exactly account for slippage, depending, obviously if it's a fast moving stock, but it does also have, I believe, a dollar in commission in and out. Look at MNY. My goodness, I was somewhat kidding when I said, okay, watch this, guys. So let's flatten this trade right now. There's something wrong with that. Give me a moment, guys. Oh, jeez. Okay, give me a moment, guys. There's something going on here that I cannot figure out. Exactly. No mid prices. It goes in right at the bid or the ask. Exactly. So if it's a fast moving stock, it may not be realistic. That number is not right. The total P&L, that's just not right. I don't know why it can't calculate that correct. I mean, if it real count, it doesn't matter, but this isn't a simulator. That should be like 385, 500 shares, entry 177, exit 254. I can do some good math. That should give you at 500 shares, should give you 385. Make sure I want us to see one thing. Yeah, 500 shares. Okay. Give me one moment, guys. Okay, guys. Yeah, you see what I just posted that, Chris. You see this? That's just wrong. Total P&L of 280. Okay, 500 shares times, the difference between the exit was at 254, the entry was 177. Just do some really quick math and multiply that by 500 to get 385. That number should be 385, unless I don't understand what's going on. This is total P&L. That's not today's P&L. What it's looking at is more like I don't even know where. Just simple math. I know if it's you're connected to your account, it's not that's not like a live trade. That's not going to happen. But anyway, all right, guys. CRNX. What's this one doing? CRNX. I sort of remember this one in the days gone past, but CRNX. I don't think I've seen this in a long time. Big move here. Not a lot of volume. 141,000 shares. That is six times normal. All right, guys. Well, you know what? Look at this shot. It's not over. Not dead, dead. So there's a pop for shot. $3 to 360. It's just basically a trading vehicle now. Holly, HOLI, not our. I don't think, Chris, can you right in thinking that Holly doesn't make any trades on half a day? Or am I wrong? All right, the captain here, CAPT. So this is okay, a lifetime high just because it started trading as CAPT last week. Okay, run that. So, question in our YouTube room: how do I pop open that Momo chart? You're talking about the scan, not the chart, right? You're talking about the scan run. Yeah, okay. So here is my homepage. Give me a moment. Marguerite. I remember you. Okay, so again, if you click on my homepage link, just on it, and this is what you're going to see. So at the top here, just scroll down until the middle section are my scans. Click here. There's the momentum scan you're talking about. Okay, I'll go over all this in about 45 minutes. Excuse me, in more detail. But here are the scans that I'm currently sharing. So the ones that you can see on your screen on the monitor that I'm sharing is the momentum scan and the abnormal option activity scan. Okay. Bienvenue. They're hitting on this. Look at the YPF guys. As I said, if you're today, probably when taking early trades is a little bit, you almost have to because of the market being open only half a day. But look at this YPF, 9:33 Eastern Time, 15:59 was the alert, 1693 is the high that it made. That even showed up in the option scanner a little bit later at 1678. So this is one of those that's showing up in the option scanner and also in the 10-day daily breakout, which I'm also sharing. I'm sharing this on my homepage. Wow. I don't know if there's any specific news for this one, or well, let's take a look at the country ETF again for Argentina. Yeah, okay, so it is kind of moving with the country. So let's take a look at PAM. Just one last one to check. Hmm. But this one is really trading more dynamically. So I wonder if it's all energy stocks. What's another one, guys? Can anybody remember what another oil energy play is? Argentina. No, no, no. For Argentina, for Argentina. Gigal. I thought that was financial. Isn't that Grupo Financiero? I'm looking. I'm looking for a another energy play like yeah. So this is a yeah. So it's a bank. PBR, yes, PBR. That's of course that's a big one. A huge float. But let's see how it's moving. I wonder if it's just the energy sector that is really taking off. Not really. So this YPF appears to be kind of trading on its own. Argentina is Argent. I don't know. I'm having a tough time saying that. I want to say Argentinian. Argentina is up, but this one is soaring. YPF. Ah, sorry to hear that, Marius. Yeah, well, they're trying to dollarize their economy. I don't know how they're going to do it. Certainly not quickly. So there's all sorts of changes that he's trying to do. is this yeah, so the shippers are going crazy too, guys. SFL, um, FRO, at least they were earlier. SPLK, shippers are alive. So there's the GGAL. Okay, there is the GGAL. So again, this is a bank, more like well, financial sector in Argentina. A lot more activity than I thought. I almost took it. I almost took it, but I didn't get my. I know I said I wouldn't trade, but so these couple of Argentinian stocks, GGAL and YPF, leading the charge. Now, William, there's no after hours trading, right? After 1 o'clock, you're not certainly you're not going to stay open or keep the room open. I think this is another one, guys. I think, yeah, this is another before I say it. Yeah. So another Argentinian. This is a bank, CEPU, CEPU. Wow, what a move. That is a that's a big move. So even if you had waited here for it to show up on the option scanner at 1678, it's still quite a dollar. All right, guys. Well, listen, the CPU, CEPU, why not? Let's see what happens with this one. Okay, HSAI, another one that's showing up on the momentum scanner. Let's take a look at this one. This is not, this is China stock. So next high looking left is 1046. Little bit of room, not a lot of room. Well, you're NVIDIA, right, PJ? I think you said NVIDIA, NVD. I'll look at NVDL. Oh, the bear. I see. Okay. I'm sorry. Excuse me. So NVDS, sure. So I have a feeling there will be no AI plays today. From our AI. KOPN, another one showing up here in the momentum scan. KOPN. Next high looking left is 170 on the weekly chart. Then after that, around two. So For me, it doesn't have enough room to keep moving. Hey, no problem, Jesse. No problem. Okay, so the spread now for CPU is a little bit better. CEPU, a little bit better. Eight, well, a lot better. 8802. I just don't know. I don't know if it's going to have the same. I mean, the volume 174,000, not a lot of volume, but it is 14 times normal. No, don't feel that way. You can post your trades. Don't feel that way. There are, always people who are into short scalping or scalping. I'm not, but it really depends what you mean by scalping. WGS guys, WGS. So, and by the way, I don't consider what you were trying to do as scalping. I mean, if you truly thought that I had a shot to the 220, you're not scalping. I mean, I know you're not going to hold on to the bitter end, to see if it's going to get to 220. But okay, there's the CEPU guys sort of resting a bit. 801, 808 spread is widening a bit again. So the shippers guys today, I mentioned this earlier. Here's ship right here, and we've got Fro, we've got SBLK, and one other that I can't remember. Site SGHT. What is this one doing? Ooh, so this has got some room. This got some room, guys. Now I remember this was not earnings. I don't remember what happened here exactly. Not good news, obviously, for this company, SGHT, on that day. I don't know if it's a financing or anyway. Had earnings on the 7th, and not a bad reaction to earnings on the 7th. And that high over here is 341 for SGHT. Looks like we finally had a pullback. YPF, little, yeah. So guys, take a look at this. This MNY. Okay, so I held this one. I bought this one in the simulator on Wednesday just to demonstrate how you can use the simulator. I kept it in. I didn't exit the trade on Wednesday, so it was still active this morning. Wanted to show you how you can practice swing trading if you want to. So look where I got out of the trade. It was 254. I like having this distance from the exit price column because this tells me a little bit, well, how good was my exit? Now, obviously, in this particular case, a fabulous exit. Okay. Because since I exited, it went from 254 down to 201. Okay. So that's a fabulous exit, right? The other thing to keep an eye on is your max PNL. And this total PNL it should have been like 350 or 385 or something. I don't know why it didn't do the math right. So the same thing though, if if you look at your max P&L and then where you get out, I mean, if where you get out of a trade is way below, obviously you better manage your trades a lot better. This though I love. I like to see that. You get out of a trade and it's 50 cents below where you got out. I love to see that. Okay, so I was wrong. There are AI trades today, guys. I was wrong. I wasn't sure if there would be one and a half a day. We've had some big moves. I've got to say, we've had some big moves this morning. Here's the triple D, another one. Take a look at the SPRC that Shady posted. SPRC. Well, we've got, I guess, the shot to 1050. That's the pre-market high. And this is something to do with autism. Climbs under trial to alleviate autism symptoms. Grumpy. You want some more abuse just for that statement? Add it to the list. Okay, I don't know anything about this one. This is an all-time high though. GYRE started to trade. Looks like I don't want to say it was a SPAC, but so this started trading as GYRE back in late October. Okay, now this is an all-time high for GYRE. What's the spread like? Not good. Here's the spread for GYRE right now, 915, sorry, 1915, 1950. This is bid and at this is the bid or time and sales from Interactive Brokers. Okay, this blue screen, nothing to do with trade ideas, but this is an all-time high. All right, guys, I'm just kind of looking at some of my thumbnail charts. I'm not seeing anything that's hitting me over the head that I should trade. So very nice by Shady here. So that actually showed up also in my 10-day daily breakout, 9:33 Eastern time at 8:90. So it's had a nice little move from there. I don't think, yeah, it doesn't trade options, so that's why you won't see it in the option activity scanner. All right. Riot is approaching. Riot's approaching a high over here. And Bitcoin is up today. I can see that. So Riot and Mara and some of the Bitcoin plays are probably doing something like this. But this is approaching potential resistance, or just over 12 for for Riot. Great alert by Shady on this one, the SPRC. And again, if you're a little more aggressive than I ever am, there you had a chance to get in at night at 890. William, you may get your wish. Maybe it will take out the free market high at 1050. Well, it still may not. And of course, William is kidding. I never tell anybody what to buy or sell, but okay. Keep an eye on YPF now, guys. The VWAP is 1669. What did it get down to? It got a little bit above the VWAP, 1680, so within 11 cents of the VWAP. Then it bounced. Well, this could have another run. So let's see if it takes out the high, the current 15-minute candle high at 1715. Maybe has a run to the high of the day. That is YPF. And it's a sell-off, okay, but the buyers have stepped in so far. Time is 10:09, almost 10:10. So another almost 5 minutes for this candle to close. So let's see if it can hold in this area just over 17 for YPF. Half a day, 1 o'clock. Yes, Marius. Yes. Markets will close at 1 today, guys. 1 o'clock Eastern time. Okay. Now, somebody said there is after-hour trading up to 5, but how active that's going to be. Anybody's guess, probably not too active, but wow, look at this GYRE. Wow, wow, wow. I backed off it because of the spread, but look at this. It almost didn't matter. 1070, 1970, 1998 on the bid ask now. Look at this GYRE. Okay, guys, YPF may be putting another assault on the high of the day. May. All right, guys, let's take a look at now. Shot again. Just as it's just a trading vehicle. Okay, that's all it is. Shot is a trading vehicle right now. Yeah, still no shorts available for me at Interactive Brokers. Okay, guys, give me a moment. I'll be right back. muted? How long have I been muted? Son of a gun. Sorry, guys. So, okay, this is why I had this up here. Okay, so obviously it did not come out of its halt in 5 minutes. So this could be a 10-minute halt. Sorry about that, guys. All right, now YPF is right back up again, guys. YPF. Let's see if this holds and starts to move. Okay. Yeah, thanks, guys. Sorry. Yeah, I was muted for a while. Where do you see the pre-market lows for TVDA on TI? Pretty simple. So it'll be in the 10 area right there. So there it is right there. And we start our data at 4 Eastern time. So that is so 474.94 approximately. 475.11 is the pre-market low. Okay. All right, guys. I hope well, all right, guys. YPF guys, YPF. Not as maybe as crazy as the SPRC, but it gave us a good trade if you took it. I've taken some off. You know, that 1750. I don't know if it's going to get up to the high of the day. I did not think I'd take a trade today, but this is a pretty exciting day. Now there's BITO. There's I call it a Bitcoin ETF. I know it's not exactly pegged to the price of Bitcoin, but that's a pretty big level for it to try to get out, I guess. You need to update your credit card. How can I do it? You're talking about your expiration date or for a TI subscription. Okay, I think there are some people in accounting. Okay, let me just give you our homepage link. Okay, I'm not sure if you can actually do it right on the website itself. So best thing to do though, here we go. Just had to find the homepage link. So the best thing to do is go to our homepage to ensure it gets done. Okay, go to the homepage, click on it. You can do it from the website. There's a problem. Okay, so best thing to do then, okay, is go to the where is that? So click on the what did I do here? Okay, click on the homepage link and where it says need help, click on need help and then click on ask and give them your, maybe even say I tried to do it on the website, but I couldn't do it. I want to update your credit card information. Oh, there you are. We're online right now. Okay, and just give them your email address so they can check out what's happening. Okay. And there's SPRC opening, guys. Wow. Good for you guys. Okay. And here's another, I'm pretty sure this is another Argentinian stock, BBAR. Pretty sure. It's all about Argentina today, guys. All about Argentina, other than the SPRC. Even, I mean, the CEPU, I just don't have a handle on it. The spread widens and then it shrinks a bit. Surprised it didn't get halted again. Okay, guys, I've taken most of my YPF off. I just want to see and hold on to just a little piece in case it takes out that high again and maybe challenges the high of the day. DGI or DJI, I don't know. Inverse. I don't do any ETFs, but let's just take a look at what DGI. Um, so is it dollar DJI for us? I don't know, Marty. Okay, dollar DJI. I don't think this is an inverse because the DJ. I mean, if you're saying what you're saying is that you know there's a little disconnect. That's all this is, a little disconnect between the growth stocks and the revenue or value stocks versus growth stocks. Okay, that's all this is. I mean, it's not a. I wouldn't call it an inverse. See, inverse to me would mean okay, if the NAS is going down, do I buy that or vice versa? No, it's just on a day like today, we're just seeing that the value stocks are moving, whereas the growth stocks are slightly down. That's all that means. But on many days, you're going to see them both up or both down. So all about Argentina today. PAM, BMA, YPF, even the CEPU, B-bar. Now, I don't like this one because if I look left, to me anyway, for the B bar, the next high is too close. Yeah, it surprised me a little bit. I didn't, well, it's not so much that it can be dead. It's just that I just don't like trading in half days because, sometimes because I do like to see things set up a little bit more. And so obviously in a half a day, I may not get my wish, but, and I did not think I would take a trade today. Yeah, I'm not gonna make I will stick around till 1 o'clock. I'm not gonna take a break. I mean, I might take like a 5-minute break to munch on an apple, but other than that, plus it's Andy's birthday today, so how could I Andy's birthday today, so how could I make him spend an hour in the room? All right, guys, take a look here. PGTI. Well, first of all, it is 10:30, so I'll go over my homepage. All right, and that promo code, I finally figured out exactly when that promo code is over. So you guys still have time. So if you click on my homepage link, you'll be brought to the top here. And this is what you're going to see. Now, yes, we do have promo codes for Black Friday and Thanksgiving, etc., but it's the same 25% off. Okay. So just use this one. You want to get 25% off. You don't have to use the other codes. This is exactly the same. You'll get the 25% off. This code is good until 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time Tuesday. Okay. So 11:59 p.m. Tuesday. 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuesday. So you still have time. So you'll get 25% off the first month only or the entire year. You can always try us out for a month. I would not, don't pile into a yearly subscription unless you absolutely know you want the product. And of course, the reason for taking out a yearly subscription is your per month cost will be lower. And if you go month to month, you can always try us out for a month. And if you don't like the product, just make sure, within the month, you say, no, don't continue me. But if at any stage you decide, even after the first month, that you want an annual, just let me know and I can get you the 25% still. Okay. And that's also if you're sitting there as a standard subscriber right now, either a standard or premium, but a monthly subscriber right now, and you do want the 25%, you can do it. You want to upgrade yourself. I hate calling it upgrade, but if you just want to take advantage of a per month cost being lower, because many of our subscribers just go month to month, that's fine. Now, the only thing I ask is at any point in the future you decide that you do want to take out a subscription, please use my promo code. Okay. This will help the room a lot. It'll help to keep this room free. This is a free room, and we want to keep it that way. And the way we do it is if you take out a subscription at any time in the future, just use my promo code. Okay. If you do take out a subscription, you must do the get started. It'll take you about 30 minutes to go through these 10 short videos. It starts off with, there we go. Your download and install, your first startup and login. Scroll down a little bit, introduction to scans, top lists, and alert windows. It'll take you about 30 minutes to go through all these videos, but it's well worth it. Please do it before you do anything else. If you're new to trading, Trading 101, this is a series of videos. This is free. You can take a look at this. Michael Noss at Trade Ideas put these together. I do a stock of the day video. I think I will do one today. Usually I don't, but I will do one today. It's free, of course. Trade of the week is free. You can sign up for it. You'll get it about maybe an hour before the market opens every Monday morning. Okay. You can sign up for it here. Now, if you sign up for it and you don't feel you're getting it, please check your spam folder. And if you have Gmail, check your promotions folder. Big education section is here. Click on that. Here's our user guide. Great user guide. Don't get overwhelmed by how much is in here, though. You don't have to learn everything. Here's the getting started again. What I would do though is take a look at the alert windows, top windows, and the price alerts. If you want to take a look at stock racing, go ahead. I don't use stock races anymore, but people do. So if you want to take a look at it here, but at least understand what the alert windows are all about and what top list windows are all about. These are the two backbones of trade ideas, if you will. And then I use price alerts all the time, as you witnessed on my screen. Here's the getting started. Now, daily support in a typical week. One or the other traders takes over for me between 12 and 1 Eastern time when I take a break. But I'm not going to do that. I'll go by myself until 1 o'clock. Okay, maybe 12:30. But next week we'll be back to normal. And so between 12 and 1, I do take a break. There are five days of the week, five different traders taking over for me between 12 and 1 in YouTube. And last, if you are looking for my scans, so you click on my homepage link, like how long it's taking to get back to our website. Chris, we got an issue. Okay, well, if you click on my homepage link, and if you want my scans, here they are. Just scroll down a bit, the middle section, click here, and here are my scans that I'm sharing, okay? All right, YPF guys, at 1750, maybe it has a shot to take up the high of the day. I still have some left. So here's what I use in the pre-market. The pre-market acts up and down. This shows me that the stocks that are gapping up or gapping down. Pulse resumes is over here. Of course, the SPRC showed up there. This is the momentum scan right here, the Momo right there. Option activity scan is right here. This is my 10-day daily breakout, which of course had a couple of huge winners here, the SPRC, and now the YPF. Yes, high of the day now, high of the day. Beauty. Okay, so there is, so those are the scans that I'm currently sharing. Now you can't see this one. This is on another monitor, but here it is here, the 10-day daily breakout and the breakdown. Okay, here they are, right there. And I do have other scans that I am sharing. So, if you save my homepage link and at any time you can click on it and then you can see the scans that I'm sharing. I do change them up from time to time. Well, guys, if I'm still around next year doing this, I promise I won't. I'll commit myself to Black Friday. This has been a great day. Okay, so what is Trade Ideas? We are a scanner. Okay, so let me take a look at this momentum scan that I got here. If I right click on it, and click on configure, and then click on summary. So this is the scan. This is the screening aspect. There are a lot of screening programs you can buy out there. Okay, but what we really are excellent at are real-time alerts. So let me just go over this one, a very popular one, momentum scans. So in this particular case, this is the screening aspect. If the stock is between $1 and $100, current volume is at least 3, meaning it's trading at least normal up to this time of day. Volume minimum has to be 100,000. This gives it the momentum. So if the volume in the last minute is at least 1,000% of normal, and in 5 minutes it's 400% of normal, and some other filters here, all of these filter values are met, and the stock makes a new high for the day, you get a real-time alert. So you can see the last one that met all these filter requirements was SUPV at 1040. It's now almost 1042. So since then, no other stock has met all these filter requirements and made a new high for the day. That's what we're really, really good at, real-time alerts. Okay. Now, if you like this scan the way it is, great, but you can always modify it. So there's the teal. Teal just made a new high of the day at 1042, $8, and met all these filter requirements. And it made a new high for the day. And these are all real-time alerts. Okay. So if you like the scan the way it is, and you're more of a momentum trader, great. But you can always adjust it. I mean, if you don't like this price range, oh man, guys, I hope some took the YPF. It's just a matter of having a little patience. And the first time it kind of got up to the 1720 mark, and then it dropped back down to 17. Actually, a little even underneath 17. It got back up to 1715. I think I said if it can get back into the teens, it might have a shot. Did I 100% know it was going to do what it's doing now? No, of course not. But I thought it was I thought we had a reasonable chance of it doing something good, and it certainly has. So again, if you like the scan the way it is, great, but you can always make some adjustments. If you don't like that price range, for instance, maybe you want it between 10 and 100. On the summary, see now it's 10 and 100, and you can make adjustments if you want. Now, if you want to make your own scans, of course you can from scratch. I right click, configure, and this time instead of the summary, I'm going to click on search. So these are all the real-time alerts that we have, starting off at the very top, the two most popular ones, the new high of the day and new low. Remember now, these are all real-time alerts, but we have many, 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 many other real-time alerts that you can choose from. If I scroll down here, these are all of the filters that we've got, the screening aspect for Trade Ideas, okay? Now, again, if you're looking at this for the first time, don't get hung up on how many we've got. You don't have to learn them all. The only reason we have so many is that when the company started over 20 years ago, they felt that most people would not want to have to learn a programming language in order to create a scan. So they had to create enough different real-time alerts and filters to satisfy them with all of our customers with all the different trading styles there are out there. Okay, so don't get hung up on how many we've got. If you look at one of these and say, well, "I have no idea what that means," don't worry about it. Okay, you may have a certain style, and you might want to scroll down and see if we've got a filter that you recognize, some kind of a real-time alert that you might want to try. That's fine. Okay, but don't get hung up on how many we've got. I only use a handful of them. I've been a subscriber since 2010, and I've only used a handful of the alerts and filters. I just disregard all the other ones. Okay. Let me see if I can help that a bit, JC. Just let me keep going here just a little bit more, okay? So there is the momentum scan, and so I am an intraday trader, okay? So I'm looking all the time for stocks that are behaving abnormally. So one of the best filters that we got is this relative volume filter. So when I see, well, let me take a look at this one. I'm sure its relative volume is going to be through the roof. So there's SPRC. Okay, so SPRC, it's pulling back now in a big way, but I mean that was an awesome, awesome, awesome trade from even if you waited. No, I'm sorry, it did not show up the normal option activity because it doesn't trade options. But at any rate, look at the relative volume, 25. That's trading 25 times normal up to this time of day. Obviously, very, very abnormal in terms of volume, okay, the actual volume. But I also like to have this one, the abnormal option activity. That tells me, okay, I want to see stocks that are trading abnormally volume-wise, but how about option volume-wise? Now, I don't trade options. This just allows me to zero in on stocks doing that also. So it's sort of a combination between relative volume, the volume, and then the option volume. So in this particular case, so let's take a look at YPF. Okay, this is sort of jumbled a little bit, but it's trading right now over 17,000 contracts. The total of puts and calls. That is 343% of normal, okay, or 3.4 times normal. Okay, so that's why. So that is trading abnormally, option wise, not, and it's also trading, of course, abnormally, relative volume wise. So the combination here really. So I say, if you see a stock that is in both the abnormal option scanner, sorry, in the 10-day daily breakout, and also in the abnormal option activity scanner, really pay attention to it. So you can see there were two today that did that, iRobot and YPF. I don't know what iRobot did. Why is this not here, Pepe? It should have been up here too. I think it made it because it dropped. Hmm, it's interesting. It might be out of the price range on one of them. I think that's the reason. If I'm right. Yeah, okay, so that's the reason. Now, so my price range in the 10-day daily breakout is $35, okay, up to 35, and you can see this is a $39 stock. So that's why it's not showing up in the 10-day daily breakout. So if you want to up that price range, of course you can. Sorry, guys, I almost had a disaster with my cup of coffee. Okay, let's see if I can answer this question for JC. Could you help with the scanner that shows stocks that gap down at least 5% and had an RSI of 80 or more on the daily chart before it gapped down? Well, okay. Now the daily chart, so we do have, so the RSI right here, if you type in RSI, so there's a daily RSI. So you could add that filter, okay, and put 80 in the max, number one. So following all this, JC, okay. So then on the gap down, then all you have to do then is go to, now are you talking about, when you talk about the gap, are you talking about the opening print, or are you talking about the change from yesterday's close? There's a difference. So in other words, 5% at least down from yesterday's close. Okay. So change from the close right there. So in the you would put -5 in the max. Okay, -5. So that would mean, so you see the change from the close filter. So you would put -5 in the max, which will mean that it has to get down at least 5%. Okay. Well, that's another issue. Whether it's going to be on a distribution stage or not. I mean, that'll be another issue. All we can do is use the filters to try to zero in stocks like that, and then you can click on the alerts that you're getting and see. So again, so if you use the change from the close and you put -5 in the max, so that'll give you stocks that are trading at least 5% down from yesterday's close. And then in the daily RSI, use that filter and put a minimum of 80, okay, in the daily. And then the other thing I would, of course, add are some maybe a price range that you like, maybe a minimum volume that you want. So you can, but You can build your scan using these two filters to start, the two that you want, and see what sort of alerts you get, or use it as a top list. So does that all make sense? Because it's up to you then, for your price range, minimum volume, things like that. So are we good? Okay, JC, are we good, or do you need more help? Okay. As long as you understand how to use those two filters and what to put in them in the min and the max, then after that, it's just a matter of creating the scan based on your price range, minimum volume, things like that. Okay, guys. Well, let's see. So I still have some YPF left. I want to see if but you know what? If it gets down to the 1750s again, I'll probably just get out of everything. But I just want to see if it can maintain this. You kidding me? HKD? I mean, our 2,500 stock. Haven't seen this one for a while. If you're wondering why I would say $2,500, if you haven't been around for a while, yes, this is not a misprint, guys. This stock one day got up to $2,551. It was this is the craziest one in the history of doing this room that we've had. And it started, you see, the day before or the month before. I don't even remember. This was almost one day. Okay, this wasn't like a couple of days. This was almost one day, and it started off at around $12. Yeah, Chris, I saw your post about trying to get into our homepage or anything. Yeah, it took me a couple of times, so hopefully nothing is amiss there. Aha! Yeah, look at the BGLC. That looked like it was dead in the water. Well, let's take a look, see if it will get through one. It's now. I don't know why we don't have a value for the 10-day moving average. I have it on the screen here, so I'm not sure why that is looking like this. But anyway, if we think if we think that's the 200-day moving average, that's around 90. A lot of volume came in too. That's almost the biggest volume bar of the day. There's your opening volume bar, which is at 9:30. That's typically, if you look back at most stocks, typically the biggest volume bar of the day is the 9:30 one. I'm looking at a 15-minute candle, of course, but this is challenging it. What time is it right now? 10:57. So yeah, this could take it out. We'll have another 2.5 minutes for this to close. So are you referring to Adam, Chris, regarding the resolution and his credit card? Oh, I see. Okay. Well, if Adam, you were still around, has it been resolved? He's helping him right now. Okay, cool. Good. Gotcha. Ah, I see. I see. I see. So that was the issue. There was an issue with our website. Okay. Aha. Oh, okay. Thank you, Chris. All right. B bar. Again, I didn't like it because you just see a little bit of resistance, in my opinion, too close compared to the other ones. But even Tops is getting, Tops, are you kidding me? Tops is getting into not top, but Tops. So yeah, a lot of these shippers are moving today. Sorry, yeah, you mentioned TAL earlier, Jamie. TAL, China Education Stock. I forgot to pull it up here. Yeah, no kidding. Wow, nice move. Oh, I see new buys at Goldman Sachs on growth. Okay, initiated a new buy, target of 1170. So that's pretty close to it now. What they should have put 20. And then, so the other China education stock, EDU, which usually trades in tandem, Goldman's doing the same sort of thing and putting $85. So it's got a little more room to run. So both those two China education stocks, EDU and TAL, Goldman has decided to upgrade them. EDU to 85 and TAL to 1170. Is what I'm talking about right here. And this is from Interactive Brokers, okay? This is what I use as my intraday news service, Interactive Brokers. Give me a moment, guys. This one's been on a roll now too. Also, I mentioned this one earlier on that 2 break. I didn't take it, but, look at this, CAPT. Now, we have it here as a lifetime high. I know you probably mentioned this, last on Wednesday, Casa or Cam. This might have been, a symbol name change from something else. Was that Jupe? Was that, JUPW by any chance? I know you mentioned one that, went from JUPW to something else. So we have it as an all-time high. It probably that is not as trading as capped it is, but, that was shot. Thank you. Okay, so JUPW turned into shot. Okay, thank you. Well, I think that this probably did something similar. It was another symbol that turned into the CAPT. One day I'll just write them all down. But there's so many of these things happening. The merger, JGGC merger. Okay. But I bet you that JGGC, I know that one was a lot higher than 240 when it was JGGC. I don't know if I can even bring it up anymore to see. Yes, I can. Okay, so it looks like the high was up here around 12. So, when it so the CAPT, I mean, you have to, have to be real about it. Really, the high is 12 something, okay? But anyway, I mean, it's moving. I don't know what they do. Architectural media glass product called G-Glass, okay, which is an IT-enabled. I'll have to ask my wife about it, who is an architect, see if she knows anything about this. Do we have so in our YouTube room, does Trade Ideas have a list of data subscriptions that we should subscribe to at a minimum when we're using live data from Interact? So really what you're asking is what data subscription plan should you have from, IB? Well, I mean, it's real-time data. I mean, you need real-time data. I think Chris knows. I couldn't even tell you what my plan is. I've had it for 7 years or 8 years now. Couldn't even tell you. I think there's a plan for about $10 a month. Okay. So, I mean, you need real-time data, and then, of course, you pick the exchanges you want, and I don't know if this is even an add-on. I really don't know. This is time and sales. I really don't know. But it's not expensive. Whatever it is, it's not expensive, but Chris is going to, share a screenshot, okay, that I'll be able to share with you. So just, hang on a bit, Marguerite, and, hey, guys, out of the YPF, guys, out of the YPF, not in anything right now. I might do a video right now, okay? I know it's, only 11 o'clock, but I might do my video right now. I'm just gonna wait for the screenshot, Marguerite, and then I can share it with you or Chris, I don't know if he's gonna go into you don't have to go into YouTube, of course, Chris. Yeah, I saw that, Marius, yes. I typically just don't trade stocks under a dollar, that's all. Oh, you're in the other room too, okay. So, you saw what he said. Give me a moment, and I will share a screenshot. No, here's the iRobot, and again, where would it have shown up if I'd had a better price range? All right, guys, so I will do a video now, okay? So it shouldn't take long. Time is it right now? 11:08, so say 11:18. Okay, so I just expanded that for you, okay? Or can you do that? I guess, can you do that on your end too, Marguerite? Yeah, $10 a month. I guess that's what I've got too. I have no idea. And it gets waived, as long as you, commissions generated, 30, I mean, so, okay. Thanks, Chris. Okay, I will, now do my video. So I'm gonna put myself on mute. I'll be back, shortly. All right, guys, I'm back. Yeah, so Chris, there are 2 rooms. Okay, this is Chris and are you not Chris, you, not Chris Farley. There are 2 rooms. I put the link in. There's YouTube, easier to get into. Not as much activity though, okay? There are a lot more traders in the other room. So it's up to you. You can come into the other room. A lot more traders, a lot more activity, traders conversing amongst each other. Okay. Ah, Shady. Okay, thank you for another way of doing that. Might help him a lot better than what I said. So that's good. Thank you for doing that. Okay, guys. Oh, look at this HKD. Ah, I'm sure you will not find any news on this one, but there it is, guys. I have no idea what the float is. I'll check to see if this other website does have the float information for HKD. I don't think it's a low float, like not a crazy low float, but it's, obviously is just ripping right now over and over and over again right now. I don't think it's a crazy, yeah, it's 27 million in the float. I just ripping, doesn't trade options. It's not optionable. Maybe. Are you talking about HKD? All I see, the last one was successfully registered all magazines with the Hong Kong government. Oh, that was on the 14th. Oh, I'm actually surprised. There are some shorts available, Interactive Brokers. Hmm. So again, I'm trying to interpret what you're saying. Are you suggesting that, I mean, when we see these sort of stocks run, yeah, sometimes we see in IB headline, it'll say traders circulating report about something. Doesn't have to be true, of course. Hey, who knows? Maybe we're back up to $2,500. And of course, I'm just kidding. But look at what it's doing. I mean, there it was flatlining for a long, long, long time, and taking this out now. The next high looking left is 588. Oh, okay. I get it now. Okay. No, maybe I was premature in getting out of the YPF, guys. YPF. But if it takes out, I mean, it's at the high now, isn't it? High of the day. AMT, that's right. AMTD never really had the same percentage move as HKD, but let's see what it's doing. Yeah, so look at that though. It pulled way back. So this is up 6%, and what is HKD? It's up a lot more, 34%. But it did the same kind of thing, a big topping tail. Man, it's shortable too. I'm surprised, but they're being snapped up. The last time I looked, 35,000 shares at Interactive Brokers. Now there are 23,000 shares. So some of them are being snapped up right now, but you got to be so careful. I didn't think this was a, yeah, I mean, this has, wait a minute, wait a minute. That might have been a residual. The French flag was still there, HKD. This is a China stock. Yeah, I don't know why the French flag is there. The tricolor. I don't know why that is there. This is a China stock. It says it's headquartered in Paris, France. Paris. Well, there are Parises in the United States. But seriously, I don't know why this is saying that, whereas AMTD is definitely in, well, China stock. Anyway, whatever it is, wow, look at YPF. All right, guys. Well, it looks like for the BGLC, it looks like, even though we don't have a 200-day moving average data point for it, we do have a line here that suggests that's the 200 days. So it looks like it got into it and now it just stopped it. Look at this iRobot inching its way up. Again, this is now the rumor, but it seems like a pretty strong rumor, okay, that Amazon will win that regulatory approval for the acquisition. But remember, this happened back here too, okay? Not the first time. This happened back here, and then, ran into a bunch of roadblocks, obviously. Now it's right back up. And as Real said, the buyout would be around 56, I think, if it happened. But again, it's not official. iRobot nor Amazon has come out officially and said that. That's why you always have to be careful. The news service cited 3 people familiar with the matter that said the deal will be okay. But I mean, that is certainly not 100% official. 51.75. Oh, I thought you said 55. Okay. So 51.75. So it's close. It's getting close. Actually, I'm sorry, I thought this was 49. So it still has, in theory, if that 51.75, if this is all correct, then obviously it has a little bit of room to run, but I want if you're listening to me or listening or seeing what Real posted in there, that doesn't mean it's going to get to 51.75 for sure, okay? Are you talking about ARM for a while? Yeah, definitely a successful IPO. IPO price was 51. We'd probably be hard pressed to find a lot of IPOs this year that are above their IPO price, but this is certainly one of them. The IPO was at $51. That is for ARM. Not saying there aren't any others, okay? All right, so VIST has a little bit of room, guys. Not a lot. The next high looking left is 33.09, so a little over 50 cents, 60 cents or so for the next high. I mention it because it is showing up on my 10-day daily breakout. I'm sorry, it is not showing up on my 10-day daily breakout. I'm sorry. It's showing up in the abnormal option activity. Okay. And the trigger was at 32.48, so really hasn't moved from there. And it's barely showing up. The option volume, my minimum filters in here has to be at least 500 contracts and at least 150% of normal or one and a half times normal. So you can see it's just sneaking in now. 1,300 is, that's over five, well above 500, but it's just now at one and a half times. I agree, Jesse. I mean, 11:30, so the market's only open for another hour and a half. I may take off at 12:30. William, if you want to keep the room open till 1, great. But other than that, I may take off at 12:30. I just don't see much that is going to happen between 12:30 and 1. Okay, thank you, William. All right, guys. Yeah, TMC. Okay, TMC. This just showed up here, the momentum scan, TMC. Well, this was Williams stock for a long. I don't think you're still in it anymore, though, are you? TMC. Okay, with the CPRSC guys, CPRSC. Excuse me. Sorry. So 1170 is the 200-day moving average for this one. The VWAP's at 1070.69. So it's in between right now. So the big deal then would be to somehow, again, later on, take out that 200-day moving average. You can see the blue line right there. So what to do? Just put a price alert right around that 200-day moving average. It does change, of course, but you put it around the area and see if it takes it out again. Well, you just have to click on the help. Okay, Marius, it'll be up to you. The value. It'll be up to you. Just click on the help and you'll see what values you could use. I mean, you're asking, it's a general question because a lot of these alerts have different values that you can use. It could be days, it could be a percent. Depends on the alert. Just click on the help. So give me one. Yeah, give me one though. What alert are you talking about? Just give me one where it has a box that you can put in a number. Okay, Chris. So Chris is going to help you. Okay. Okay. So if you look at it, okay. So I'll start off, Chris. Anyway, see if I can. So the 1 minute volume spike, that is one min. Okay, 1 min ratio. Okay. So if you go to help on it, all I did was I just clicked on the help. So you can see what it says right there. You can set the minimum amount of volume required to set off this alert as described below. But why does it say ratio, Chris? I do remember this one. I do remember this one, trying this one. I mean, you put 100%, you'll get none. You put because that definition did not make sense, did it? Okay, but this says ratio. Okay, the 1 minute volume spike does say ratio. And so if I click on help, which is going to bring me to that page. So here is the 1 minute volume spike. See, you can set the minimum amount of volume required to set off this alert as described below. Oh, open the other link. Okay. Well, I still see it, but I don't see where the ratio comes in. Maybe I'm just looking at this wrong. I mean, I know what you're this is the old way. I do get that. You can set the minimum amount of volume required to set off this alert as described below. I don't know, Marius, okay? I don't use this one. You're gonna have to experiment then with your ratio. Because even if the ratio was defined, you'd have to I know some of the ratios are like 100% would mean you hardly get any alerts, and, 50%, you'll get more alerts. So if you look what Chris is saying here, I mean, this is the general description, in this percents. So a higher number will ask you to display fewer alerts, more and a lower number. Or if you leave it blank, you'll get more alerts. I can't help you. I can't help you what you're going to use in that. You just have to experiment and see how many alerts you get. There's not going to be a right or wrong number like in that for the percent. All right, guys. Let's see. Anything else happening here? WGS. Another crazy one. I mean, this is up 31%. I didn't see this in the pre-market really, but look at this one. The market opened at 9:30. This has just been on a tear here. Low float, 15 million in the float. Next high is looking left. Around that two level, if they could take this out, this is one probably to watch on Monday. Takes out that two level, 239, and then all this area up here, maybe. So probably a good idea just to stick a price alert around 197. That's what I'm going to do. A couple of highs right there. If I take that out, maybe this starts to get it back into this area. And SPRC guys holding 11. SPRC is holding 11, trying to anyway. Big bottoming tail there. Sellers knocked it all the way down to 1022, but the buyers are trying to close this. You can kind of see on that 15-minute chart, if you can take out, say that 1150 mark again, it could go on our late day roll. Just look at these 15-minute candles, the last three, the current one, which is almost set to close. So that'll give you three, all kind of at the high here around 1140, 1150. So if it took that out, it may get on a roll again. Meanwhile, WGS keeps moving higher here, guys. This might take out that two level. Super extended though. I mean, I wouldn't chase it now. Doesn't trade. It does trade options, but look at iRobot. Wow. So the pre-market high did have a spike up here, all the way up to 42.99. Might be a little resistance. Looking at the pre-market of around 41.55. A couple of candles right there. You guys talking RVS? I'm sorry, VF. How did I get that? VFS. Yeah, so the high looking left is 658. Yeah, so that's why Shady is talking about that. That's the high of yesterday. And then if it can do that, then you've got some highs of around 740. Don't tell me this is actually going to take out two in a big way. By the way, you saw how the price alerts works, guys. So my price alert window popped up on my screen when it hit the price alert. Okay, guys. Let's see. Our robot keeps moving a little higher. Again, this might it might get sticky right around here, around 41, 45. You know, this SPRC is really hanging tough over 11. So I mean, this really has a shot. If you can take this out, this 1150 out, you can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 45 minutes around that area. So again, using price alerts. So this is our price alerts window. If you click on new and then click on new and then price alerts. If you've never done one before, then it's going to be blank. Okay. But it'll look something like this. Just give me one moment. I'm sorry. So as far as price alerts are concerned, so if you click on new and then price alerts, your price alert window will look something, well, if you've never used it before, it'll be blank, but this is what mine looks like. Okay. And so you see the last one that triggered was WGS. Now this is what I would do. I would minimize the window. Okay, you don't have to have the window taking up any screen space at all. In fact, I think it's better if you don't because you'll see what happens if I minimize the window and then I stick a price alert. Hopefully this will move. I'll bracket it. Now I went too quickly there. So how to create a price alert? When I'm moving my mouse pointer, you'll notice there should be a dotted line that follows you. So if you can eyeball it well enough, you just tick the price alert at the price you want, then right click and create price alert. Typically, I don't put any notes in, and then I just save it. And you see what happened. The minute it hit that, and I did that on purpose, when it hits the price alert, your price alert window will pop up on your screen. I sort on the trigger time column, so I'm going to see the last one right at the top. I can put a sound alert on this so that I will not miss it. The bottom line is I will not miss a price alert, especially if you minimize it, it'll pop up on your screen. Okay? So I would really highly recommend using price alerts. Well, this iRobot is getting very close to that 45. That's an area in the pre-market that may stall it, but it may not. Look at the options volume, guys. Oh, the option volume today percent. So it's 7 times normal. 7 times normal. All right, guys, we've got a little over an hour left. Okay. I may take off at 12:30. I may not. Depends what happens. But we'll keep the room open till 1 o'clock if I do take off at 12:30. I'm not taking a break so much today. I'm not gonna usually I take my break right now. There actually was an earnings play here, guys. HTHT. I guess this was an earnings play. Nothing really happening with it. A China stock, HTHT. All right, guys, not getting too many new alerts now. Exactly, Jesse. Exactly. All the there was a Bentley too. That was your clue, in my opinion. I'm not trying to make light of it, but well, that's going back a few years. Ford Pinto. That's going back many years. Okay, guys, so I'm sort of winding down myself. I can't imagine doing anything for the balance of the day. So good time to ask me questions if you have any. I'll try to help. Okay, ended up being a medical problem. Wow. And if you read all the crazy conspiracy theories about it, people are just looking for reasons to. I'm not going to say anything more. Well, let's take a look at YPF. William is suggesting that if it breaks through the VWAP, exactly, Benji, exactly. That's why everybody should wait until trying to draw all these wild conspiracy theories. Okay, there's the VWAP. 1707 is the VWAP for YPF. Don't lose sight of the SPRC. I mean, I thought actually it might have been over, but it's still hanging around the 11 mark. You can see I've got some price alerts set up here if it happens. You mentioned this, or somebody mentioned it. I don't know if it was you or earlier on for the SUPV. Another bank. It's got a little bit of. I have a monthly chart up. Let's take a look at a weekly chart. Yeah, three May stall it. All right. IMPL, IMPL, a little bit of volume coming in. So this one got up on Friday, got all the way up to almost 108. There's the 200-day moving average is 112. So that's for the IMPL. And red to green, yes. So it just went positive. Okay, guys, let's take a look at SPRC. Come on, 15-minute chart. Yeah, right back down though, right back down. And now the spread is awful. 1107, 1120. Yeah, the spread is not good. You got to be really careful. I'll reset the alert. You can see, let me bring up a big GME as my default. Come on. So you can see you've got 15-minute candles, all kind of struggling to get through that 1140 mark. Okay. So if you can see it, make it even bigger. Whoops. Okay. So look at these five 15-minute candles, all at the highs here. You can kind of see that if we get on volume, takes that out, it could get rocking again. I mean, it may not happen though. That's why you put a price alert up in that area and see if it happens. And if it does happen, it has to be on volume. On volume, meaning I know I'm talking about the absolute volume, but something that stands out again, maybe in a volume bar like that. But you see how the volume is sort of dwindling a little bit in relation to the previous volume bars. So that's all I'm looking at. I'm just looking to see because we've got now almost an hour and 15, not quite an hour, over an hour struggling to get through there. Looked like it was going to do it, didn't it? But then the volume just wasn't that much. I can't do anything about my resolution, Marius. Sorry. I'm at a 4K. I mean, I'm at the resolution. There's no setting that I can do. Sorry. There's no setting within YouTube, where I'm broadcasting. Well, it says 1080p, and then I'm using the resolution that I have on my screen is the one that I'm supposed to be using. So not sure how I can help unless Pepe has an idea. If Pepe is still around. I think so. I think that's the highest. Well, in this broadcasting here it is, I think. There's not a higher resolution. I can't choose 4K as an example. It's just not an option. You see? 1080p, high definition, that's the best I can do. SSSS, guys? Used to see this one a lot. I haven't seen this one in a long, 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 long time. Yeah, so I just wanted to see what you guys might be seeing. I'm going full screen on my monitor now with I do see what you mean. It's a little bit blurry. I don't know how I don't see how I can. I mean, certainly the charts are fine, and I can read everything. My guess is if I yeah, I think I see what you mean, but there's nothing I can do about it. Not that I'm aware of anyway. Okay, guys, so I may wrap myself up. Oh, that's all right. I may wrap up my stint at 12:30. William, we'll keep the room open till 1. So what I'm going to do for the last time this week is just go over my homepage again. All right. So if you do click on my homepage link, this is what you're going to find again. Now, this Barry 25, if you're looking for a Black Friday, excuse me, promo, it's the same, okay? The Black Friday promo is 25%. I mean, I know it'll say maybe Black Friday, but this is the same. You can use my promo code. You'll get the 25% off, okay? Just makes it easier. You don't have to switch Thanksgiving code, Black Friday code. So this is the code that'll get you 25% off, first month only or the entire year. And this code should be good until 11:59 p.m. Tuesday. 11:59 p.m. Eastern time, Tuesday, okay? You still have a chance to get 25% off. Of course, the room will be open on Monday and Tuesday. So, and if you do take out a subscription, please do get started. Run you through there are 10 videos. Take you about 30 minutes to get through the 10 videos. Trading 101, if you're looking for a refresher or you're new to trading, series of videos that you can take a look at. Stock of the day video that I've already done. You can sign up for that. It's free, of course. Trade of the week is free. You'll get it before the market opens Monday morning. And the big education section is here. And as always, if you're going to take out a subscription at some time in the future, either come back into the trading room or use my code. The problem is if you save this code, it may not be valid, depending on when you use it. So best thing to do is come into the room, check to see what the code is that you can use, and then use that. Really helps the room, okay? It'll really help to keep this room maintaining it free. And then here are my scans. If you're looking for any of my scans, here they are. I do change them up from time to time. So another good idea, saving my home page, and then you can check out the scans that I've got. Okay. Well, I am using software that we can stream live. It's called StreamYard. I am using software that streams live on that. That's what we use. If that's what you mean. See, I'm using StreamYard. That allows me to stream to not just YouTube, but other sites at the same time. Doesn't look good now for the SBRC, but you can see exactly why I put price alerts. I do not act unless I get one. And look what's happened. So wasn't going to anticipate that it was going to take out this 1140, 1150 mark. Thinking to myself, it'll take it out. Look what happened earlier. Keeps him out of a lot of trouble. No, actually, it's not. Even when I was only doing one, it didn't seem to make any difference. Tell you what I'll do on Monday. On Monday, I'll just stream to YouTube. Okay, just at the beginning, and then you guys can tell me. In the main room, Jesse, in the main room, yes. I'm not using StreamYard in the main room. It's a different projection. Okay? Never had anybody say in the main room that it's fuzzy. It's just in YouTube. Um, where do I find that again, Pepe? I remember we tried that months ago, right? Where do I find that bit rate again? What if I just type in bit rate? Oh, I thought we did. Okay. I thought we had checked something like that. Oh, that was latency we did. Okay. So where do I go to try to test that? Okay. I just typed in bit rate just for fun. That didn't help me. I'll go to settings just to see if there's anything there. No result for bitrate in settings. Okay, so not there. So again, it's only it, but I'll tell you what I'll do. On Monday, I will just stream to YouTube. Okay, I won't stream anywhere else, and we'll see. I mean, really, that's our our viewership is really just in YouTube. Not that we have a lot of people in YouTube either, but I'll just stream to YouTube, and that's it. And we'll see what happens. I think we toyed around with the idea, but I'm not sure I can do it. Is having two StreamYard streams, one to YouTube and then one to the rest of them, like opening up the program twice or something. I don't know. Maybe we can do that even. Anyway, okay, guys. So I do think I'm going to wrap me up here at 12:30. Okay, I think I'll stop at around 12:30. We'll keep the room up until 1. I thought that was the case, Pepe. I thought we tried that streaming only to YouTube, and that didn't make any difference. Okay, then I won't do it. Just come into the main room. The main. I see you come in, Marius. I'm not just talking to you, but anybody else in YouTube. You can come into the main room. I think the resolution is a lot is better. Yeah, the problem is, I mean, if we decided not to use StreamYard for some reason, if there's something better, we'd all have to do it, all because when they come into the YouTube room between 12 and 1, we're leaving, we're all using the same StreamYard or the same program. So I don't know if anything else is going to be any better. I know StreamYard is a very, very popular program. I'm talking in general, guys. I'm just wrapping this up. Market closes at 1 o'clock, so you have another 20 minutes or 40 minutes for the market. Okay, market closes at 1 o'clock today. Okay, so yeah, I know it's confusing sometimes when I talk about YouTube room and then the main room. Okay, so we do have two rooms going. I monitor both rooms. This is the what I call the main room. Okay, I'm gonna put that link into YouTube. YouTube is simpler to get into. Okay, there's nothing really you have to do. To get into the other room, you have to give us your email address, and there's a I don't know 3 or 4 click procedure to get in. It's not horrible to get in, believe me, but it's not quite as easy as getting into YouTube. But in the main room, the link I just put in, there's a lot more activity. Okay, there are a lot more traders in there, tossing around ideas. I think YouTube is fine, especially if you just want to listen to me. If that's all you really care about, you don't really care about seeing the screen, it is easier to get into. But if you're more of an active trader and you want a lot more interaction with other traders, definitely come into the main room. Okay. Mind medicine, MNMD, guys. So this is the one. Yeah, they've done a bunch of well, at least one reverse split. So this is on the move a little bit. They did the reverse split a long time ago. You can tell this is in a lifetime low is right at the low of its lifetime range. All right, guys. So I have another 8 minutes left. Okay. So if you have any questions, now I can always stay past 12:30. I don't have to go, but if you have any questions, now would be a good time. Market has been. I haven't really looked at the overall market today, but the market's been definitely very choppy on the 15-minute chart. Topping tails, bottoming tails, not doing too much right now, of course. Yeah. See you next week, Shaw. have to create a new one and select turn on. Hmm. Okay. I'll try to figure out what you're talking about. Okay, so Adam, depends what scanner you're using, okay? So the question is, it seems the scanners do not pick up data until the market begins. In pre-market, the scanners do not work as much, or is it lack of volume? So your last question, no, it's not because of lack of volume. So it depends. For instance, my momentum scanner, my option activity scanner, my 10-day daily breakout scanners, they don't work in the pre-market. The reason being, one of the reasons is that I'm using the relative volume filter in all of these scans, okay? The minute you use the relative volume filter, you will not get any data in the pre-market, number one, okay? So so again, if I right click on this momentum scan, you'll notice that one of my filters is the current volume, relative volume has to be at least 3. If you have that active, that's why if you come in, if you're here before 9 o'clock or before 9:30, you'll see that my momentum scan is always empty. It doesn't, nothing will fire until at least 9:30. And that's because I'm using the relative volume filter. Okay. So that's number one. You'd have to check your scans to see whether or not you've got the relative volume filter. Now, top lists, same thing. Top lists, if you're using a top list and it's got the relative volume filter, it won't work. But for instance, this is what I use in the pre-market. Relative volume is only during trading hours, exactly. So for instance, if you see this is what I use in the pre-market. Now it's running. It is still running right now. But I mean, this is what I use in the pre-market. And so if you whenever whatever time you load, if you're using this pre-market actors up and down, and even the gap up and down. Now, how I can get something in the gap up and down is using this pre-market highs, okay? Pre-market highs and then pre-market lows here. But notice I do not have the relative volume filter here. So any scan that has a relative volume filter, if you're trying to find if you want to see data in the pre-market, you can't use it. And notice here in my pre-market and my top, these are top list windows. If I right click configure, this is what I use in the pre-market. Notice I do not have the relative volume filter here. But I mean, of course, I get tons of data. This is going to show me the gappers up, gappers down in the pre-market. So it's got nothing to do with the, low volume or anything like that. Okay. So that could be the reason, depending on the scanner that you're using. If you're using mine, for instance, all of my, all the ones that I'm sharing, if you're taking the momentum, abnormal option activity, the breakouts and breakdowns, if that's what you're wondering about, yeah, that's because they have the relative volume filter. So does that answer your question, Adam? But it only starts at 9:30, okay? It starts calculating at 9:30. It is it's a proprietary, filter, yes, but it only starts calculating at 9:30. It's just the way it is. There's a lot of other ways to find out, stocks that are trading abnormally in the pre-market. That's when you can use the volume today percent, okay? Which I don't use at all once the market opens, because if I use this volume today percent filter, so if I saw 50%, remember now, if I'm looking at this in the pre-market and I saw something that said even 25%, okay? That would mean that in the pre-market, the volume is already at 25% of normal. So in the pre-market, the volume that would be pretty significant. If it's trading what it would normally do all day long, it's already done 25% of that in the pre-market. That would be significant. Okay. So it's another way in which you can, how I use my pre-market actives up and down is the obvious thing to do is to sort on the change from the close. I do it both ways to see the ones that are down the most and the ones that are up the most. Okay, that's the obvious thing to do when you're looking in the pre-market to begin with. You want to see the stocks that are up the most from yesterday's close and down the most from yesterday's close. But after that, you can start to, because this is a topless window, and you sort on it. So you can sort on any column header I've got or you've got. So if I right click on the volume today percent, you can see MTC right now. Remember now, this keeps running all day, but I don't use this. Once the market opens, I shut this down. So again, the volume tape, I mean, MTC is obviously having a huge day relative to what it normally does. But if I sort on this column and I see something, maybe the top one might be 25%. 25% is still pretty significant. Now, sometimes you might see 50%. Rarely you're going to see 100%, but I mean, it could happen. Some stock that is absolutely exploding in the pre-market that doesn't trade very much. So you can also look at that. And it just gives you a different look other than just the strict change from the close. You can also check, take a look at the float. You want to see low float stocks because the thing is that when you look at the change from the close, your eyes are drawn to the ones that are, of course, move the most. But there could be something that's down here at only 7.8%. You wouldn't really be drawn to it. But if you click on the float column, on the float number shares, float shares, so this is showing me the super low floaters. Okay, ADTX 237,000 in the float. That could have been one of those. Well, look at this. So it's only up 6.2%. So you might unearth some other interesting ones by sorting on the different columns. Hopefully that makes sense. And of course, I am sharing these too. Okay, guys, I think that is it for me. So I'm going to shut myself off right now. I'll get on mute and the screen sharing will disappear. Again, well, it was a lot more active than I thought it would be, so it wasn't too bad at all. YPF, and of course, for a lot of you, the SPRC. So have a great end of Black Friday or holidays if you're not working today, and we'll see you guys Monday morning, 9 o'clock. I will open up at 9 o'clock again for both rooms, the YouTube room and the main room. So have a great weekend, and we'll see you then. And YouTubers, the same thing.